introduce us.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Now go home and get your shine box.
Welcome back, everybody, to a Wednesday evening here with the guys at Go Get Your Shine Box. We're happy to be with you and do another show. We had a little green room dispute on the intro, whether we were going to use that canned AI intro that I worked hard on last week. Did I say hard on?
Yeah.
But Joe, he pulled his age.
Here we go.
And he insisted that we...
I want to use Anna for the introduction.
Yeah, he vetoed. Well, Anna is sweet. Anna is fine.
We could do that.
I'm going to go to the beach with her this weekend.
And we got to come up with a last name for her that's got a whole lot of freaking vowels in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and some of those squiggly things.
Yeah,
squiggly letters.
The umlauts and the.
She's one of your peeps, right?
Yes, she is a Scandinavian.
Yeah. Anybody out there with a Harvard education, maybe they could pipe in and explain to me what those curvy letters are, in that particular lexicon.
Shall we all have a moment of silence, please? We learned today that Ava Lardingerbrook converted to Catholicism. So all of us Protestants are weeping.
Lardingerbrook? She owes me money.
She knows Anna, by the way.
I owe her money. Oh.
Man.
She may be the most beautiful girl on the planet, Ava.
Okay, then.
Anyway.
Just as a quick tie-in to last week, I just wanted to say,
yeah,
that they burnt the evidence. The case is now officially closed.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about just the other day. They burnt the evidence. They destroyed all evidence. So case closed.
Crazy.
It tied the room together, did it not? Unbelievable.
It is believable. It's believable. We live in a police state. The Bidens are a shit family. I heard somebody describe them as trash. The Bidens are a trash family.
In an expensive trailer.
Yeah,
exactly. The whole Democrat Party has become so corrupt, and we saw this with the 2018 Kavanaugh confirmation.
Right. Yeah.
They were so filthily and disgustingly corrupt, willing to say anything, do anything, and list any kind of liar and slimeball. That paints the entire party. That's exactly who they are. Yeah. And now they have the controls of everything.
Speaking of scumbags, does anybody know? I think this guy to me is the scumbag of the week. This is a Jamie Raskin guy with this stupid bandana that he wears. Did he have cancer and his hair falling out?
Is that why he's wearing it on his head?
He's wearing a bandana, and I saw him with hair. It just wasn't a week ago.
He's a douche.
Yeah.
That's
I just
being a Democrat, he's probably looking for some sort of sympathy. Oh, look, he has to wear a thing. You know what I mean?
It's cultural appropriation, that bandana.
By the way, check his early life. You know where he's coming from.
Yeah, lizards.
Yes, he is one of the lizard people.
He is.
That's why his tongue keeps shooting out.
Yeah, he's a kind of forked tongue.
Yes.
But speaking of the whole Biden crime family imbroglio, Jack Smith on January 6th apparently is the new direction that he's going to take the Trump fallacy, the big joke, because the paper chase he's on now isn't working, like apparently everything else he's done in his career. So he's going to jump right into an insurrection. Donald Trump promoted an insurrection. Of course, we all know that it wasn't an insurrection. If it was, DC would still be smoldering. I think I've said that a few times. I believe that's accurate.
I think you need a few more items for an insurrection. Like I think you need weapons.
Can I interject something?
Go ahead.
No, you can't. There's only 3 of us. Oh, yeah, no, of course you can. Yeah.
Because I'm not as highly educated as you guys, and there may be, you never know, there may be some working class stiffs that are part of our listening audience. Imbroglio, an extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. I just thought I'd throw that out there in case anybody didn't catch that from Jim.
I'm sorry. I oftentimes throughout my day, I don't have an opportunity to use words with more than 3 letters because the recipients don't seem to understand. Not all.
You saved that for us, huh?
I saved that for the intelligente, as it were.
I will say that I did spell it correctly when I typed it into Google, but I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I was my first grade spelling bee champion. So.
Yes. And
what happened to second grade?
You did first grade twice.
We won't go there.
Anyway,
I fell in with a bad crowd.
Yeah, those ruffians. Jack Smith.
I remember you in second grade.
Jack Smith is an interesting character, and nobody knew who Jack Smith was. Let's face it, until the corrupt Merrick Garland assigned him as special counsel. Apparently, he's some kind of hatchet man. He's some kind of expendable hatchet man for the left. I don't know, Democrat, whatever you want to call it. I just call it the evil left because they've proven that to be correct. The guy's name is I'm not sure where to go with this. John Luman, Luman, not lumen like light lumen. Luman Smith, born in '69. So he's kind of a young fella. An American attorney who served in the United States, Department of Justice assistant. I'm not going to get into the particulars down there, but interestingly enough, acting United States attorney, head of department's public integrity section, which automatically tells you that he has no integrity. He was also chief prosecutor at the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, an international tribunal at The Hague, tasked with investigating and prosecuting war crimes in the Kosovo War, which is, I find a little ironic. But we were going to get into that a little bit deeper, but suffice it to say the guy's a monumental failure. You feel free to look it up, and I also found some other information about his career of overturned cases, if you will. And to keep in mind, federal prosecutors have like a ridiculous percentage rate of wins, like 99%. Not this guy.
Oh, have a look here, Mr. Luman Smith.
Yeah,
his wife is the documentary filmmaker who made
Guess
the
what
movie
she did?
Becoming.
Yeah. She worked with Michelle Obama. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
incestuous.
grotesque is what it is. I mean, we're living in a police state. Okay, they are what the Biden's doing, weaponizing every branch of government. It's disgusting.
It is.
I hope. I mean, if we don't fix this election, then we're down the tubes. I mean, I think that I don't even know if we can even fix it. We got to burn it down.
On the left are the part that amazes me is it in the past, I'll say 10 years. But actually this goes back to Clintonism. When Clinton got the Lewinsky, that I think was the beginning of the end because everybody surrounded the wagons and came to his defense.
True, but what I'm seeing lately is that is our people or civilians, like citizens, getting screwed over. Like that one kid, there's some kid on YouTube. He had a YouTube channel. He ended up getting 20 years or something for. Yeah, no, for machine gun parts, right? He was no. He was. Listen to me. We'll get to him. He was selling. He was involved with selling like metal business cards. With a drawing on it, and they called that a machine gun part. because it was some kind of clip, and they had like some ATF guy took that, and it took him like I don't know how many hours with a Dremel tool, and he cut it out, and he finally got it to work, so to speak. Totally ridiculous. And then just recently, an E6 in the Navy. I don't know what the E6 is. I think it's a sergeant.
Well, it's a Navy, so they're petty officers or whatever.
Whatever it is. Anyway, he was selling crap. He was selling gun parts on Gunbroker, and he sold a gun kit that was legal. It was a parts kit, and when the parts kit was imported into this country, it was done legally by ATF. It was demilled, and it was cut with a torch through the receiver. ATF changed the rule, and they had to be cut 3 times with a torch. Well, when that was initially sold into this country, we only had 1 cut in it. He got 20 years for that. But it was like they just switched the law.
Yeah, that's why you have to get names.
And this guy
you have to get names, because if I get 20 years, after those 20 years, if I get out early, everybody involved in that case is going to be put in an early grave.
Well, wait. He got 20 years for that. He got 20 years for another thing. You're gonna die when you hear this. He bought a demilled RPG. Right. Okay, the receiver was blocked. The trigger mechanism was taken out. It was drilled through the breech. It was drilled. It was demilled by the ATF. Demilled. He bought this thing. The ATF took it back to their laboratory. Undemilled it, welded up the hull, put a new put a different trigger mechanism, bought a whole different receiver for it, put it together, and they charged him for having an RPG, a firing RPG. They fired a blank because I want that ATF to fire an RPG round out of that, because whoever does will be killed instantly because it will explode on them because the breech is compromised because they welded it up. But that, you know what? I want the ATF. It should be mandatory that they fire that weapon with a proper round in it.
But anyway,
he got 20 years. He got 20 years
Jack
for that.
Smith.
But
back to Jack.
This is all right. Wait, we're getting to Jack Smith.
Holy crap!
This is our government.
This is a very specific piece of the government right now. I get it.
But, okay. All right. I got to calm down. My blood pressure. Down,
but I got a riddle for you. Okay, listen to this.
All right, go ahead.
I want you to both listen to this because I read this and this doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. Smith was born in 1969. We already knew that. He grew up in Clay, New York, which is a suburb of Syracuse. You know what that is, way up by Oneonta. If you don't know where that is, it's way the heck out. He graduated from Liverpool High School, nothing high school, where he played football and baseball. I mean, my guess is he played left out or he was a cheerleader, but I don't know. He studied political science at the State University of New York at Oneonta, graduating in 1991 with a Bachelor of Arts. Okay, whatever. Smith then attended Harvard Law School, from which he graduated in 1994 with a Juris Doctor with a cum laude. How does that happen? Who is this guy who goes? He went to school in Oneonta, freaking nowhere land, and he winds up in Harvard Law School.
In other words, he got a letter introduction.
Was he? He wasn't black, was he?
No, he's not black.
No, he's not a minority of any kind.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! You don't know
because he's the one who's got the special counsel. It's crucifying Trump right now.
Oh, I haven't never seen his face. So.
Yeah, I can't find the name of his parents because you know where I'm going with this.
Well, I guarantee his last name's not really Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
But geez, oh man. And back to the chief prosecutor. I mean, this guy's got a pedigree that goes on and on and on. But it's almost like Obama. He came out of nowhere, and now he's a special counsel. He's the sole man in a country of about 350 million people. This idiot, this freaking wannabe tough guy moron with the stupid freaking goatee. He's the one guy that can take Trump out. Really? Joe, and that's what I'm talking about, Joe. That's the America you were talking about with the ATF.
Right. It's absolutely insane. But it's not just the ATF. It's the ATF. It's the FBI. It's the CIA. It's everything that Biden controls. It's all of his cronies that are controlling all of these three-letter, these agencies. I mean, if you how about the ATF, not the ATF guy, the FFL. There's the FFL just got shut down because they were suing the ATF for over some crap. So what happened? The ATF came in, re-audited them, shut them down. They do what they want. The government, they're like strong arm you. This is total fascism. He's laughing.
No, I'm crying. Listening to my babies all grown up.
Oh, jeez.
All grown up hating the government. No, it just warms my heart.
Okay, now get back in line.
Oh man, but you talk about fascism. They want to say that Ron DeSantis is a fascist and Trump is a fascist. They're fighting fascism. These people do they understand what fascism is?
From 2010 to 2015, Smith. Sir, I hope my S filter's working because I'm doing a lot of S's tonight. Smith served under the Obama Attorney General Eric Holder.
Yeah, another fine example.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. Yeah, okay. The blah blah blah. The Obama administration set in motion Democrats' coup against Trump from day one of his presidency. We all know that. Excerpt from Lee Smith's book, "The Plot Against the President: The True Story of How Congressman David Nunes, as Pelosi calls him, uncovered the biggest political scandal in American history." And this guy, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and by the way, this isn't the first Republican he's gone after. They sent him after some Virginia Republican. I don't know if it was a senator or whatever he was.
Well, there's the John Edwards prosecution, mistrial on 5 counts and acquittal. He lost that one.
Yeah.
He went after Bob Menendez, who's a Democrat, for public corruption.
Well, Bob Menendez
Bob
is
Menendez
corrupt, so.
likes the little ones, I think, if I remember correctly. He goes to Thailand to visit the little people.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
that's a whole other avenue.
Smith prosecuted Congressman Rick Renzi on corruption charges. Let's see. The Supreme Court upheld. Renzi was later pardoned by Trump. Wrongfully convicted by Department of Justice. It's interesting that the people that Trump pardoned and claimed it was a wrongful prosecution. If I was into thinking, man, I wouldn't follow the logic. The dots are so close together, you barely have to connect them. That this is not only is this a revenge binge, it's politicization and weaponization of the masses of the alphabet agencies. Because Trump came right out. That's the problem. Schumer said it. That scumbag Schumer said it. That the intelligence agencies will get you 7 ways from Sunday.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And they're doing it. Yeah, and it goes on. Judicial Watch has sued Biden's Justice Department, refusing to reveal names of Special Counsel Jack Smith and staff investigation against Trump. So not only is this a persecution, but it's not a transparent one either. So, and basically, Trump was just sent the letter of intent to look into a possible indictment,
and it's not even winnable. There's no there. They can't. There's nothing. It's like this. They can't even win this
in
case.
D.C., right? It's a J6 case.
Yeah.
How's their record? Their record in all the other J6 cases there, Joe?
Well,
no, just answer the question. Answer the question, please.
Answer the question. No, I agree with you. I mean, the corruption is corruption.
You're not going to find 12 Democrats who will say guilty on Trump.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the case itself. It's impossible. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Now, can they get 12 people to say guilty?
All
yeah, absolutely. They can.
I'm good with that explanation.
Yeah, and to reiterate,
can we burn him to the ground? Yeah, I guess we can at that point.
Don't forget, there was a black police officer that shot an unarmed woman in the neck with the all intentions of killing her, and she died. And he wasn't even so much as questioned.
No, I think they gave him a commendation, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
He was exonerated immediately.
Award for bravery or something.
So keep this in mind, any listeners, especially that are out there, and you. It doesn't matter if you support Trump. That's really inconsequential. We talked about that before, and if we have time, we'll explain why. Keep this in mind: the left hates you, and Trump has said this on several occasions. But Paul, we were talking today. Trump is a manifestation. Rather, the movement is a manifestation. It's not. You can explain what you
right.
better.
Trump reflects the national populism that is happening in this country. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the point I'm making is they hate you and they will kill you.
Yes.
If once they take our guns, if they in fact can, which I don't think so, it'll turn into an ugly, ugly thing. They will kill you. They will indiscriminately shoot you down. Now, it might not be Jamie Raskin with his stupid, freaking, filthy bandana on his head. They might hire an outside agency like, say, BLM, or they might deploy Antifa in your neighborhood, but they will kill you. There's all indications that they will kill you. They have killed. When we did a show on the Civil War, they have killed, they will kill, they want to kill.
Yes.
For many reasons. First of all, they come to seek whom they can destroy and conquer. That's all they are. It's just a pure evil versus good.
Yes.
So,
and if you don't understand the spiritual component of what's going on right now, you need to get you some Jesus, because that's the only thing that's going to save you going forward.
And not only that, it'll help you understand exactly what's going on.
Right. Well, when I say save you, it's going to save your soul.
Yeah.
It may save your ass. It'll save your sanity. Because otherwise you're looking at this through my cousin Vinny, that crud covered screen with the leaves. And,
right. Yep. And God told John Browning, son, make a 1911.
Yes, he did.
So,
amen. Hallelujah. Praise you, Jesus.
So, let's do a little. Let me take this a little comedy input here, just to break some of the seriousness. It's a little piece. I dubbed it a little bit, as you can tell, but this was part of CNN headlines yesterday, I think it was. This was the CNN national, big news agency. This is what they had. It's like I said, it's broken up a little bit into pieces, but you get the gist, and you can hear it all over the place. But check it out.
Eat fresh. Special counsel Jack Smith is a fan of Subway. A CNN camera followed the Trump prosecutor as he exited the fast food chain restaurant yesterday.
Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong. That's according to what we see right there. New and exclusive CNN video of the special counsel at Subway, declining, though, to respond to reporters' questions about today's big news. A target letter sent to the former president of the United States. CNN's Evan Perez was there trying to track down the special.
Later, anchor John King had additional poetic commentary about this thrilling lunch break.
Jack Smith going to Subway today is a message to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump tries to intimidate people. He tries to bully people. He tries to scare you away. That was Jack Smith with no words and a simple $5 sub in his hand saying, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, the imagery was intentional and spoke volume. Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong.
Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong. Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong.
The Subway sandwich is an icon of liberal resistance to Donald Trump. And CNN decided that this was an act of brave resistance.
Okay.
I'd rather have a Jersey Mike's, come on.
Just for you perverts out there, the $5 footlong isn't what you think it is, okay?
Oh, hold on a second. Let me see if I can get something. Now, this is British, but it may come through anyway.
Gobsmacked.
Did we hear that?
Yes.
Gobsmacked.
Okay. Gobsmacked, utterly astonished, semicolon, astounded. I am gobsmacked.
CNN. They had a serious panel literally discussing the fact that Jack Smith got a $5 sub.
Got a $5
and what
sub,
it meant. and has somehow some jagoff. I don't know the guy's name. I can't tell you the name of anybody on CNN. He actually is like, Trump's a bully, so Jack Smith had to go get a $5 sub.
It's asinine, and I love how like everybody mimic the same exact word. What do they have? Are they all on like speed dial or like
Operation
mailing?
Mockingbird?
So they know what to say.
There is I'm assuming it still exists. There's a thing called Journo List, and all these guys are on there. It's like a private server, and the word goes out, and then it all spreads between 5,000 sycophant, freaking Democrat sycophant journalists.
Yeah.
So they all wind up hearing the same thing in the morning after the morning briefing, and that's why their stuff all sounds the same.
Well, yeah, it's a circle jerk, and they all at the end of the day, they go on Twitter and they find out who said it better. Who's the best that said it? Who was the best pronunciation of the $5 sub from Subway? Yeah, and that's what they do. And then they I mean, Raskin, I'm going to pick on Raskin. He's probably the pivot man at those particular events.
Yes, so. Well, Mossad,
Yeah.
Wait, but doesn't Trump like eat at like McDonald's?
Yes.
I mean,
that's, I believe.
Give me a Big Mac.
That's what they were alluding to. I think what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Because I saw Megyn Kelly did a thing.
She's
really?
Like,
yeah, she's like, holy crap, I was at the, TP USA, whatever it was called, Turning Point. And I go by Trump and he's got like Snickers and crap on the table, and he eats like McDonald's every other day. And this guy is like, he's all jazzed up. He's 77 years old and I can't even keep up with him. And of course, all the retards like Mika Brzezinski and her cuck husband, that pathetic
Morning Joe
are mocking her and stuff. So this must be the response to that, maybe.
Well, the brain trust got together and say, let's do something with the subway. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Smith was apparently or involved with triathlete events. So he's that Subway sandwich that was a photo op.
Yeah,
he threw that away. He didn't.
Well, I mean, you don't think that like CNN just happened to be outside the subway?
Right. Well, just like they were in front of what's his name's house when they got raided at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, they just happened to be walking down the street. Yeah.
Right.
But and by the way, here's a small point of trivia: there is so much sugar contained in Subway bread that technically it's not classified as bread; it's classified as a pastry.
Right.
It's true.
Pastry almost rhymes with pederasty, and if we remember back to what's his name there, Jabron or something.
I'm pretty sure if they dig deep enough into Jack Smith, they're going to find a little.
There we go. His name.
I kind of find it humorous that Trump eats like junk food and McDonald's and stuff, and the Bidens, they have cocaine delivered to the White House. I mean, kind of interesting. I wonder if they get Doritos to the White House too.
Yeah, I know they get the Parmesan cheese delivered.
Parmesan cheese, but
Anyway, back to the show. Let me tell you guys what this is all about, because this isn't an accident. The 14th Amendment, Section 3. If you bear with me, I'm going to read this.
All right.
No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector of the president or vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the Justice Department or any other state, who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of the House, remove such disability. So, you know that this wasn't written for this situation.
No.
Jack had the 14th Amendment Section 3 deep tucked in the anals of his pocket. That's his secret weapon. Because now we got him. Got him now.
Well, that's one of their angles of attack. Now, I think, to be serious, I don't think the 14th Amendment applies to the presidency.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. It just said
why not?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But who's to say what's an insurrection?
Well, that's the problem. There's definitions.
Isn't it a definition of insurrection? I mean, really, can you perform an insurrection without any weapons?
Well, of course not. Of course not.
How does that work?
All they got to do is repeat the word insurrection enough.
Yeah, and then look, Joe. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's on the opposite side of the aisle is saying insurrection. They just learned that last year. They learned how to say insurrection and cult. You know.
Well, when Ray Epps was on his tyrant, that he was protesting. That wasn't an insurrection.
Yeah. But when Trump said, "Go home, be peaceful, march up to the Capitol peacefully," apparently that was an insurrection. Yeah,
that was an insurrection.
So this is all politically motivated hatred, and it's important because if we don't, number one, if we don't take it back this time, it's done. There will never be another Republican president. Nothing that good people would desire will ever happen in this country again. Yep. It'll be controlled by the evil scumbags, the Democrats.
We will have nothing like it.
That being said, I don't know if winning the presidency can save this country. I don't believe it can, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Well, let me just say this about that. To quote one of my favorite presidents, this is the last piece, because his other cases are falling apart. He could literally be in a jail cell and still win the presidency. But
yeah, that's true.
Under this Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, he could not. So that's what I think. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is factual I mean, the writing is, but the way they're going to manipulate it, I don't know if that's actually could work. It would probably go to the Supreme Court and then ultimately Congress, because they can veto it. But basically what I'm saying is you're going to know, and this is the first time I've said this, you're going to know it's too late when the law enforcement of whatever kind it is forcefully kicking your doors in and confiscating your guns. Then that's it. It's the end. That's the end. That's when you know they are going to start shooting us. On site after curfew or whatever the edict is at that time. That's when you know. We're all still simmering away. We're not boiling yet. We're all still simmering away. But when they forcefully come to take your guns, and I'm not talking about the passive ATF stuff, the passive aggressive stuff. I'm talking about the forceful SWAT teams coming in and just going down the street.
You mean like after Katrina?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Exactly. That was a litmus test. It always is. These are always tests.
Yeah.
Just like the COVID thing. Then you're going to know. That's why I put it out there. In the past, I put it out there. If you don't want something missing, you put it where nobody could find it. And you guys could read between the lines.
Yes. Well, Security Guy 42 just did a nice video on safe cache. Yeah. And what you should have out there in the woods,
or wherever,
or wherever, yeah. Personally, I don't even know if that would be required. We saw what they did in Canada. Do you see what they're doing with Nigel Farage canceling his bank accounts?
Yeah, see, that once they do that national centralized banking, that's going to be an issue.
Well, that's why they want to go to digital currency so that they can control.
Do they even need it? I mean, if the White House calls up Bank of America, Santander, Citibank.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Paul. But again, I'm back to the gun point. Maybe it's just me holding out for my last historical hope that when if something like that gets out of hand, then we actually take the tea to the harbor ourselves.
Yeah, I would rather it that way, because you would think seeing these things like widespread would be like the final. You know what I mean?
Yeah. At that point.
but I don't know. I don't know, man. Everybody is so comfortable and weak. I don't know if people are going to stand up. I don't know.
Well,
they haven't yet.
There will be a couple more events as feelers. They will put out the feelers because they're not stupid. They do play the long game, so they'll figure out at what point, like they did with this this COVID nonsense. They'll figure out what your salt points are. Everybody already knows what your buying habits are. Everybody that's on TikTok,
your movement habits,
that information is already stored. And the Bidens are so tight with China. Don't think for a second that he can't call up one of the low hanging fruit over there and get access to any database from this TikTok stuff, because they suck everything out of you. If they know everything you do, where you are, when you go, when you come home, when your lights are on, everything. Yeah. They know everything. So,
and they know what you like, what you don't like. They know more about you than you think.
Well, TikTok is so bad. It's so bad that if we looked outside and we saw the Chinese parachutes coming in, or however it's going to happen, they can have handheld devices with names on that device, and GPS is taking you direct. They could take them directly to the person's house.
They could.
And know everything they need to know about the person.
By the way, there are shitloads of military-age Chinese coming across the border.
Yeah, interestingly.
Right now. And by the way, did you see that multiple explosions at the what's the name of the chemical that's used in like thermobarics and other rocket propulsion? And blew up in Louisiana the other day. 6 simultaneous explosions.
Oh wow, there's another a chemical derailment in Pennsylvania too.
And a chemical derailment. They are already inside the house, people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I made a comment once before. I said the enemy's in the gate, and the guy, I could just see the guy on the other end, of the phone. It's not inside the gate. It's the enemies are at the gate.
Yeah, well, inside.
And I'm like, you idiot! I know what the heck I'm talking about. They're not outside. They're inside. Yeah. So
they're inside.
But anyway, I do like a good joust, but. I was going to go over some of the Trump charges that were, that are out there just to demonstrate the ridiculousness and, the litmus test. If this was anybody else, this would be prosecutorial misconduct on all accounts, and not just Jack's, everybody's. And if Trump wasn't the president or he was somehow a Democrat, none of this would happen. None of it. Not one piece of it. And that's all the litmus tests you need to know. And if that's too much or overwhelming for you, well, then you better get on some kind of a freaking psychiatric drug.
And this is another concern for me, is that no way in hell would Republicans ever do something like this. As corrupt as they are not evil, cutthroat, whatever this is.
Right. No, this is a moral issue. It crosses the moral line.
Yeah.
There are moral boundaries, and that's where the fight between good and evil is. So
what do we do?
Well, Joe, that doesn't mean we don't fight back with vengeance, and I mean virtually, of course. God forbid that I would ever be accused of inciting, which I'm not doing.
We prepare.
Wonderful. Hey, I want to change your subject a little bit, but what is Horseface Curry doing over in China? With talking about the environment and trying to get China to get together with the United States and become more green.
That's all he knows. He knows it's not happening.
Why is he in the jet that he doesn't own? Because he doesn't own he's never owned a private jet in his life.
Owns 3 jets.
His wife. Oh no, his wife did.
He said that with such a straight face that he actually thinks we. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. If my wife owned a Ferrari, it's my wife's Ferrari. I would never take it out for a ride on my own. I mean, what, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, he actually thought people were going to believe that. He was a schmo. He deliberately, anybody who deliberately joins the military goes to Vietnam so he can come back and freaking badmouth his own country and his own people. Yeah. That's what he did. This guy should have.
Yeah.
Why is he still a foreign agent? What's he doing over with China?
In front of his name.
does he have a job in the government?
He's got contacts. He's got contacts with every filthy.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking, like, this whole thing with Burisma and all the money that the Bidens have taken in, all the blood sucking money that they've taken in. In return, they're giving our billions of our taxpayer dollars back. So the Bidens pocket all the money, and put money in their pocket, and we taxpayers give our hard-earned cash to overseas.
Yeah, would they announce another $1.5 billion today or something? $1.5 billion.
It's
a money washing machine. That's all it is. And by the way, the CIA has been involved with the Ukraine for so many years. It's countless.
Yeah.
Because of its strategic value, shall we say? Anyway, so there you go. Jack Smith and his 12-foot sub. Guy's an extraordinary scumbag. So we'll see what happens. Keep your eyes open. The announcement is that an indictment could be coming. It's not that it is, he's being investigated as towards a written up indictment.
Yeah, the indictment's coming.
Yeah, it's already done. Of course
what comes up next is the timing of the trial. Trials, obviously they're doing this in part to bleed Trump. Monetarily, he's got to defend all this stuff.
Yep.
This is just so disgusting.
When are they going to start going after DeSantis?
Once Trump's out of the way.
If Trump dies, they'll go after DeSantis.
Oh, they have a dossier on him already. It's going to be it won't be Russia. It'll be Somalia or something. Oh, Somalia. He's business with the Somalians.
Yeah,
who knows?
They've done some warm-up articles on him already, so
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up and put it in the can.
All right.
So to speak.
All right.
Have a good night. Later, everybody.